Well, good afternoon, you guys. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. We are at Fiddlers Green. There's new things going on at Fiddlers Green, so we're out here to talk to Al in just a second about what they're doing, some new stuff happening out here. We're also here because, did you know that lighting affects your mood and how you respond and what kind of attitude you have? It can be good for your workplace. So we're going to talk to Century Lighting about that. They just relit the inside of this, and Al's joining me. This is Al. Al, last name, tell him.
Al Whalen.
And Al, so what do you do here?
I'm the general manager.
So he's the head chief. And you guys are putting new lights in out here, right, too?
Correct.
And why?
Well, we had an arrangement with Century Lighting and the good folks at Blatchley Lane to kind of retrofit all of our lighting and get into something a little bit more efficient, brighter, so more reliable.
So come here out of the wind with me for a second. I want to keep these golfers in the background, but right there, right here, right there, that's good.
Okay.
So tell me what in golfing. So since there's been some changes with River Ridge and some things like that, so what's happening with you guys out here?
Well, starting I think next week, the first team will be out here, and we're looking forward to having them here. In the junior program, and a lot of young energy about, and then of course new equipment every year from all the vendors, and just kind of sprucing the place up a little bit.
Your store looks so much different now.
Yeah, the lighting has made a tremendous difference. It really
Let's
has.
go show them what's going on here. So Al, go ahead and take me inside here. So you guys, they put in new lighting in here, and what research is showing is that the way you light a business in a place, right here, Al, let's show them this. So look, so what did you guys do? This is to save not only energy.
Correct. Well, what they did is Century Lighting came in, and in the course of a couple evenings, just retrofit all the lights from our fluorescent lights to LED. And as a result of that, we have a much, it's kind of hard to explain, but a cleaner, I don't want to say bright, but a whiter light.
Yeah, it's they call it, I guess, a blue light.
Okay.
So it's more comfortable,
right?
And it's more like what you should be in. So if you're sitting at work in yellow lights or those horrible fluorescent lights, the reason you're crabby is because you aren't in the right kind of light.
Right.
Have you noticed with your employees, is it just calm? Does it make a calmer place?
Well, they noticed it right away when they came in and said that it looked just.
It looks clean.
Right, and you know, certainly from a merchandising standpoint, the apparel looks good, and the colors that the vendors use and the merchandise looks brighter and probably as they expected it to be. So.
Heather, we're at Fiddlers Green, out off of Highway 99 in between the airport and Junction City. So, and you guys are, how many, what, is you a 9-hole?
We have an 18-hole par 3 golf course. We've been here, Fiddlers Green has been here for 40 years. The golf course portion was here since 1967.
And the store, you guys are really more about internet business anymore, aren't you?
Well, no, we still do probably the bulk of our business is still done in the store, but our internet business is growing is growing nicely.
You guys are huge. So this place is absolutely huge. But it does look different from the last time I was in here because I noticed the difference when I walked in. I just went, you know, so we're going to talk more with Century Lighting about that. Anything else people need to know, programs or something specials going on for the summer?
No, we're just getting all the new merchandise in now that the summer weather is finally showing up. Finally showing up. It's just time to come out, and if you want to, you know, anything from minor upgrades to your equipment, getting clubs regripped and ready for the season, or if you've had a chance to play a round or two and discovered some problems in the game, maybe some new equipment would help. So encourage you to come out and try them out.
I came out here years ago, and you guys, I had to do a tournament, and I was like the lead guy in the tournament, and I don't golf.
Okay.
So one of your pros tried to help me. It didn't go so well.
Uh-oh.
I'm a hard study. I'm not good. So I went and I just danced on the golf course, and it worked out fine.
Worked great. Good.
All right, Al, good, thank you.
Okay, you bet.
I'm going to find Joe. So Joe's up here, you guys. We're going to talk to Joe a little bit about the lighting here. Yeah, so Fiddlers Green, local company, been here for 40 years. This is what they do. And I have to go searching for Joe. You know, Joe is kind of like me. He likes to talk, and he'll be, if you want to find him, he'll be anywhere talking to anybody, anyone, at a grocery store line. Aren't you?
I just happened to be talking to Tim Whalen, one of the owners. So
this is Joe Kavanaugh with Century Lighting. So tell me, I've already had people on here going, oh my gosh, the lighting looks great. So what did you guys do?
we basically took the existing fixtures and rebuilt them to accommodate line voltage LEDs. And so we have a consistent color, which is a 5,000 Kelvin, which actually allows all the products to be accentuated.
So is that like that's the blue light that people talk about? So it's
Yeah.
like being like daylight, what we should be in.
Correct. It's close to the daylight color
Okay, and why is that important?
for color rendering, to really get a true idea of what the products are and their features.
So there also was, so if you guys have a business and you have old crappy fluorescent lights, this is what you guys do, and you can
That's
come
correct.
in and there's rebates and stuff available.
Yeah, the utilities have rebate money, and what we experienced here is with the high ceilings, there was a maintenance issue because they needed to bring special equipment in to be able to service it. And so I had known Tim for a number of years through a bowling league that we were both part of, and I proposed the idea. I said, would you like to look at the possibility of upgrading this? And he said, absolutely. So not only do you receive utility incentives, there's also a reduction in maintenance cost and energy cost.
So their energy use has dropped because of these lights.
That's right. Yeah, these use about 30% of what the original lighting.
Do you think businesses would be surprised at how much they're probably wasting?
Oh, absolutely.
With fixtures and stuff that doesn't, especially with
Yeah.
what we know today.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and then you've got the disposal cost because a fluorescent is considered hazardous waste, so it needs to be disposed of properly. And some of the fixtures actually have PCB ballasts, which are another toxic thing that has to be specially disposed of.
So other clients that you've done recently like this, that people could see if they go in there, they'd know what that was.
Correct. Yeah, they would see that it was really light and bright. And certain areas out here were a dark, cavernous look, and we were able to brighten it up and make it consistent throughout the entire facility.
All right, cool, Joe. All right, we're going to talk to his better half, Suzanne. She's like an expert. Because you guys, okay, now, I never knew any of this stuff. This is Suzanne. There you go. And I'm going to duck down just a little bit because I'm taller than you. And I can do this. I always had shorter anchor women, so I'm used to this. So tell folks that, because I didn't know, so this is a blue light, and that
It's
worked.
a bluer.
What does that do for me when I'm in a place, working in an atmosphere that has the proper lighting?
Well, the best understanding is how you feel when you go outside on a bright sunny day versus a gray day. Most people will understand. They feel energized. They have more energy. They feel better. What also studies have found is that the correct lighting affects a worker's productivity.
Okay.
They feel better at work. There are fewer sick days. Also, the light we're surrounded with during the daytime affects our sleep.
Okay, so if you're in the wrong light during the day, and then look how many people we have with sleep disorders. and
Exactly.
problems. That could probably be linked to that.
It really can, because this bright, bluer light actually increases our serotonin, and it stops our melatonin production, which you want during the day, which is why lots of times in the afternoon people get really sleepy because they're underneath this really yellow light, so their melatonin is still going. Some big businesses are actually putting in light shower rooms where employees can go in for 10 minutes and get a dose of bright blue light, and they find that it's as effective as a cup of caffeine. The effects will last for 4 hours, and it won't affect their sleep at night because they won't have the caffeine effects.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it's really fascinating what light does.
So now, what about my home? So, because you guys, they just moved into a new place, and you're retrofitting everything. So,
Right.
So you put blue light during the day,
Correct.
and then yellow light at night.
Right. When the sun sets in our sky outside, because we have evolved under natural light. It's only been last 100 years or so we've been inside under electrical light.
That's right.
So our body knows how to respond to natural light and natural light colors. So when we see the sky changing to yellow and orange at night, that means our light inside needs to change because we're starting to produce melatonin. And we need melatonin for deep sleep. If we have blue light at night, and that's our devices, our LED TVs,
so that's this, too.
our cell phones, our iPads, our computers are all a blue light. So if we're looking at those at night, what they can do is disrupt our melatonin, so we're not sleeping as deeply at night.
So how many of you people sit down and watch television before you go to bed, or are on your computer, or checking your emails in bed, sitting watching your phone? That's affecting your melatonin. What
It
you're doing.
absolutely is. It has a huge impact on sleep, and especially if you have children, adolescents, because they have a hard time sleeping anyway. Their time clock is set a little later at night, and if they're on these devices at night, it has a dramatic impact on their sleep and ability to get up to go to school in the morning. A lot of screens, there are special apps you can get where they will change color in the evening to a yellower screen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, one is F.Lux, L-U-X,
So
and that's for your
F.
computers.
Lux.
Smartphones actually have a setting that you can change on the settings where they will change at night to a yellower light.
Now, there's also, you were telling me that you and Joe bought glasses. So, she brought them.
I brought them. You said to bring them.
Yeah, okay, so check this
These
out.
are yellow safety glasses. Got them on Amazon. And what they do is they block blue light. I'm going to let you put this on, Rick,
Okay.
and look at the blue shirts.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
They're not blue.
Okay, wait.
It
where is
blocks. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I could do this.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, Suzanne, hold this up here. I'm going to try this, you guys. Now watch. That's the camera, right?
It blocks blue light.
See that? So you don't
can't
see the blue.
Because how we view things, it's a reflection of the light, and the color has to be in the light for us to see the color. And so when you block the blue, you can't get the blue light.
That is so dang cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Because, okay,
Right.
here's what I'm trying to do, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Look
You
at
can
that.
see the difference. Yeah,
So you could take these glasses at night and put them on,
exactly.
and then just sit down at your phone and you're doing your phone thing. Plus, you got to think, I look really, really
You
cool.
look- you
I
look
mean, this is
good.
like, I'm sitting around to my wife going, honey,
You
we're
look good.
We're watching this
And
show.
actually, so when the light starts changing outside to the yellow light, you put these on until you turn off the last light in your home at night before you go to sleep. And it improves sleep. I've worked with people who have sleep disorders, circadian rhythm disruption, and by doing a few simple tricks like this, they're actually sleeping better.
So could I go into my house too, Suzanne? This is what I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had, like, in my kitchen, I have two sets of lights that I can use. I could put yellower in one and bluer in the other and just
Absolutely.
learn how to switch those. So at
Correct.
night, only turn one on. Are you guys understand? I think this is so cool because I
Yeah.
don't sleep well at all.
Yeah, most people don't. Most
Right.
people don't.
Because we're used to, our bodies were built to go to sleep earlier and not have all this stuff.
Our bodies are really, our ancestors slept 10 to 12 hours at night. And I don't know many people who are sleeping 10 to 12 hours a night. And even
Maybe.
though we're not, it doesn't mean that our bodies don't still need that. So there are a lot of things we can do with light that will help sleep.
So that's one of the things you guys do at Century Lighting too.
Right. We understand the importance of light for sleep, also for employee productivity. That's a huge thing as more and more studies are coming out, linking productivity, lack of errors, just how employees feel about being at work with their lighting. It's
So if
huge.
you have crabby employees, it might be because your lighting's all bad.
You know, and more people I talk to, they talk to me about how affected they are by the light at work and how much they hate it.
So you can call Century Lighting to find out for your business, but also personally, Suzanne, she can help you with your home. If you're giving you ideas, if I just kind of spurred something and you're thinking, what can I do in my bedroom and that kind of thing, she can kind of help you out with
I
that sort of
can.
stuff because she's an expert in that.
I can.
You deal with a lot of elders too, a lot of folks
I do.
growing older like us.
Well, I do a lot within the senior care community as well because as we age, our eyes naturally get yellow lenses, kind of like a newspaper yellows out in the sun. That's what our eye lens will do. And just like putting on those yellowed glasses, as we age from 60 on, our eyes are being yellow. We are blocking the blue light that we need in our brain for our circadian rhythm. So there's a higher intensity and a higher shift of blue light that's needed for seniors.
I think that's amazing.
I do too.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. So anyway.
I love light.
Okay,
and this
another
is Cindy
amazing
Benton.
thing. Cindy's here. This is another amazing thing in our community is Honor Flight. And,
No. She's Alzheimer's
Oh,
Association.
Alzheimer's
That's
Association.
okay.
Honor Flight is next week. Oh my gosh, that's what I put the wrong thing in here. So Alzheimer's, I heard about this from one of my people at my networking group. They're walking in it. They have a team.
Yes.
And then I called Susanna and she says, well, Rick, we're really into this. This is what we're doing. So tell me about the walk first of all.
The Walk to End Alzheimer's is on Sunday, October 8th. And it's the largest fundraising event in the world to raise money to end Alzheimer's.
What do we know? What's the most recent thing we know about Alzheimer's?
It's the 6th leading cause of death.
Seriously?
Yes. And it is growing where other like cancers and stuff are going down, we're going up. And it's the only disease in the top 10 causes of death that you can't slow, cure, or prevent.
That's not very hopeful, is it?
We have 63,000 people in Oregon with it, and it's over 5 million with it in the United States, and that's going to just...
Is that why the research in the walk is so important? Is because you're
Yes.
trying to get... Obviously, we have
A treatment would be nice to
Right.
slow it
Something
down,
that
or
can-
just something that we can have. You know, it's like diabetes they found insulin in the 1920s. Cancers have treatments, and there's some hope they can do something.
Is it because we don't focus enough on it?
They haven't, but the government is changing. They know that when the federal government gets behind it, it will turn it out. When I started with Alzheimer's Association, I did some research on the disease, and I listened to an article on YouTube by a doctor in UCLA Medical. He said that this is a
Grab you a bit
disease.
closer just a little bit
This
to the
is a disease that will take countries down,
Yeah.
because it's going to be so bad.
I am honestly more afraid of that.
I
had
am
cancer,
too.
and I used to tell people used to go, oh, are you afraid of cancer? I said, you know what, cancer, I think they cured it. That can be cured. And I was afraid. I'm not saying I wasn't afraid.
Oh, yeah, you're afraid.
But I said to
but-
one of my friends, they're going, I'm praying that your cancer is treated. And I said, well, what if it's not supposed to be and then I get Alzheimer's? I said, I do not want Alzheimer's. That would be because I've had relatives go through that. And it's just, it's so horrible.
Yeah, it's sad to just see people go away pieces at a time.
Okay, so why do you do this?
Personally,
Uh-huh.
well, luckily that I don't have someone in my family, because so I'm grateful for that. But now there's my friends' parents are being affected by this, and there's someone, one of the people I used to work with for years, and he's been diagnosed with it, and I just, it breaks my heart. It's harder when you know the person.
Right. And when you know what they
So-
were like.
and
what
when
they-
you meet them and you see them in memories and the making change, because they can't remember things, or that's just one of the signs. That's just one of the things. They start where they can't see. Their vision just starts coming in like this, so they're very tunnel vision. Where they can't remember how to. That's why their balances gets bad. There's other things that go along with this. And so for the caregivers, it gets to be really difficult because they don't get a break.
Right. I mean, I've heard some of the commercials on TV, and I've had friends that have taken care of their family members, and it's just so hard
It is really
because they don't remember
hard.
who you are. And I mean, I had an uncle, and my uncle Alan, and he would show up in other people's apartments, and in the home
Yeah,
where he
there's
lived, they had to start locking him in his apartment.
I heard a story this weekend on one of the people that is in the care facility who the person speaks 5 languages fluently, but she's not using English. So she speaks Egyptian and all these different languages, and so it's a challenge.
So you guys, this is October the 8th.
Yes,
It's on
it's
Sunday.
time to sign up now.
It's the walk to end Alzheimer's, and so we're not asking you to change the world, but you will.
Yeah.
We're just asking you to come out and support them, or find someone. There's teams where they donate and
They
stuff
can
like
donate to teams. They can organize a team by going to alz.org/walk.
that. Okay, guys, this is the easy way, except it's going to be backwards, isn't it? Okay, so there it is. And you know what? Can somebody put that on there? One of you guys will do that.
But
won't you?
it's also-
alz.org/ and then walk, and put that on there so
There's
people
one
can
thing
go.
I was wanting to say is
Oh,
that
go for it.
the fundraising and the money that's raised to fight this, the Alzheimer's Association is the 3rd largest funder to this. Number 1 is the United States. Number 2 is China. Then it's us.
So the key really
That's
is
how important this is.
Right.
This is it.
to get the federal government on board this.
Oh yes,
That's
they
what
have been increasing.
And that's what we need to do as people. So can I assume that another thing we can do as people is write our congressional leaders?
Oh, yeah.
So the DeFazios and the
They
local
can become an
representatives.
advocate. They can be part of the trial match, which is where we have people who don't have Alzheimer's in their family. They're trying to come at this every way they can think of. They're coming at it from prevention. They're coming at it from slowing. They're coming at it from every way.
Wow.
that they're coming from it. And they by 2025 they want to have something that can at least slow it down.
So you want to do something about it, you got to get involved. And here's a really easy way. It's October 8th. So you know what? Get a hold of me in the fall, like in September, and I'll stick you on again.
You need to
we'll
get.
remind
You
it.
need a Rick Dancer team.
A Rick Dancer team. There you go. I can, but I like to run. Can I do?
You
the
can run it.
I can do this run for Alzheimer's.
Yeah, go ahead and run it. You'll just beat everybody.
That's kind of what I like. Especially
you'll
the
beat
older I
everybody.
get, the more I just want to beat somebody that's younger
I know
than
they're
me.
actually getting ready to organize a little short route for one of the teams that wants a short ones because they're older and they just don't get around very fast.
Right, but they want to do it.
do it.
Thank you for coming and talking.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you too.
Yeah, last year the walk was amazing because they had little pinwheel flowers for everybody, and there was a color for people who had Alzheimer's who were there walking. There was a color for caregivers. There was a color for people who've lost family members to Alzheimer's. And Joe's father passed away from Alzheimer's, and my grandmother passed away 6 weeks later from dementia that very much mirrored Alzheimer's at the end. So to see all these different colored flowers and to just see how many people are so affected by it. And really it was my interest in seeing if lighting could potentially improve the life for somebody with Alzheimer's, could maybe help limit some of what's considered the behavioral issues, if light could do that, and that's what started my investigation and study of light.
One of the really cool things, and you might know who it is, because I'd love to get this information to you guys. Who is it in that in the group, the elders group, the spin group, and they worked out a. So I don't know how else to explain this, but what you do is, okay, so I sit down and I write out my routine. What I do, I mean everything from when I get up, if I go to the restroom first thing in the morning, that goes on there. How I have my coffee, do I read my paper before I have my coffee or after I have my coffee? You lay out every single thing in this plan. She has a whole workbook that you lay out for somebody as they're starting to get Alzheimer's or dementia. And then it helps them because you're not changing their schedule.
Exactly.
I have never heard that. I thought that is so good because she goes, think about, Rick, if you got up and then they gave you your coffee right when you got out of bed, if you don't usually have it like that, and you can't tell them this is not how I do it. If you already have that all laid out, it makes the process easier not only on the person but also the caregiver. So do you know who that is?
I cannot remember the name of who it was. They haven't spoken about that for a while. And and it's like, do you like to take your shower in the morning or do you want a bath at night?
Right.
And they're getting you up and throwing you in a shower first thing in the morning. I
guys,
remember that. It's very important. I can find that out.
Okay, and I think people, it's just something to remember that this will come back to you, and you have a schedule, and we all do. It's kind of like people on the autism spectrum. Their parents know, here's when we do things. Well, when you get into that dementia, that Alzheimer's, you kind of kick in that direction. So it's something you can sit down now and think about how you do things in your day. It's really important. So
or for your parents, to have your parents know what they like to do so that you know if you ever need to be caring for them in that way.
Okay, so again, the Alzheimer's Walk, the walk to end Alzheimer's, is October the 8th. Go find out more information. If you own a business and your employees are cranky, you might want to look at your lighting. Give them a call.
I won't 100% guarantee
we
can
can't
take
cure
care
everyone,
of that.
but
it might help though.
Yeah, we save the world. But they can help you make more productivity, have your customers more comfortable, and have you have a better lighting situation, and save energy so you're not taking all that energy out of the system. And also, if you're looking for golfing needs, get down here to Fiddlers Green. They're local. 40 years in our community. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow we're going to the McKinsey Cafe, and we're going to talk about a real serious topic like we did today. We're going to talk about what are called suicide headaches. These are also referred to as cluster headaches. And we're going to have a gentleman, Kyle Welch, who is going through it right now. And he's going to take a chance and come to the cafe and hope that he's in the middle of one of those suicide headache breaks. And we're going to have Cindy from the organization. Some really big moves have been made by the legislature to help with this. And I'm just going to warn you ahead of time, we are going to talk about the use of LSD, because that is what is used. Psychedelic drugs are used to control suicide headaches. So if that's something you don't believe in, you may not want to tune in, because we're going to talk about everything that's real, because it's Get Real with Rick Dancer. So I'll see you tomorrow at noon, McKinsey Cafe. Bring your heart, because we're going to want it. All right, I'll see you. Bye, guys.